African journalists have been guests of the Bundesliga for a 3-day visit to Germany, made possible by the DFL and its exclusive partner in sub-Saharan Africa, Star Times. The journalists were able to experience the Bundesliga up close and to meet 2 African legends of the league thanks to an extensive programme.
Football, as it's meant to be.
The first day of the media visit begins with a workshop where an appreciation of German football, structures and peculiarities of the Bundesliga are conveyed. And of course, the journalists get to go to the stadium. Frankfurt versus Dortmund and Schalke versus Darmstadt are the planned stops.
Together with our partner Star Times, it's a great pleasure for us to welcome some highly recommended journalists from Africa to give them an expression and an idea about the Bundesliga, to give them the opportunity to transport all these things to the people in Africa. We see our role not just in explaining people from anywhere in the world how they have to do it. That's not our job. Our job is to explain how we are doing it in Germany and why we are successful with that. And if there's the opportunity to take out some specific aspects that might help to bring the football organization in Africa to the next level as well, we are very glad about that.
There's a lot of excitement after the first theory lessons. For a more hands-on session, the trip heads to the Eintracht Frankfurt Youth Academy. The journalists get to look around with a tour through the changing rooms, the weights room where the young players work on their robustness. And when a ball crosses their paths, it is, of course, immediately commandeered. They see a youth player's room and also receive a small Eintracht Frankfurt visitor's gift.
Oh. Special guest here.
We are very nervous. We're looking forward for tomorrow, for Saturday. It's for one of a big game. We play against Dortmund, and that's why we are a little bit nervous. We have, for more than 20 years, a good experience with players from Africa. Sure. This is Anthony Yeboah. This was a hero in the town, and JJ Okocha also. It was perfect and beautiful, unbelievable good players from Africa.
Introducing JJ Okocha and Sunday Oliseh, the surprise guests for our journalists. We meet the 2 Bundesliga legends early on the morning of the Eintracht Dortmund game. The DFL and Star Times have chosen the 2 Nigerians as ambassadors for the Bundesliga in Africa. Oliseh used to play for Köln, Dortmund and Bochum, while Okocha spent 4 years with Frankfurt. Welcome home.
Well, it's just that you can't say I'm blushing, you know. It's so good to be back in Frankfurt, you know. For me, whenever I come back here, it's like coming home. The basics that I learned as a young professional was what guided me throughout my career. Yeah, like I said, it will always be my second home.
Oliseh won the Bundesliga title with Dortmund in 2002. He spent a total of 2.5 years at Borussia. He's really delighted with the collaboration between the DFL and Star Times.
Well, I think being legendary is something that one is very grateful to God for, because at the onset it was not, nobody started out as a soccer player, you want to be a legend. It's something that falls on you thanks to what you were able to achieve during your career. But working together with Star Times, it's the objective that comes interesting into mind. That is to bring into the awareness of people who are not fully aware how very solid the German Bundesliga is and what makes it so special. Unfortunately, that the world is not probably focusing on now, but the Germans are benefiting from because they are world champions now. So it's quite interesting.
It's finally time as the journalists get to meet the legends. There's plenty of time ahead of the game for long conversations. The reporters listen intently to the stories from the former footballers, and they have a lot to tell about their time in the Bundesliga. JJ Okocha tells them about what it takes to reach the league from the streets of Nigeria.
Well, I think they have to realize that it's not always rosy. Along the line, you must also encounter some difficulties, you know. But it's always your target, your dream, you know, that will keep you going. Because I used to say to myself that nobody is good enough to take away my dream from me, you know. I can only be at fault or be blamed not to achieve my target, you know, and of course it goes with hard work, you know, because even some days when I'll get a day off, I used to go and train, I used to go and work on my weaknesses, you know, to become a better player.
Okocha's job today is obviously more extensive than Sunday's. When you return home after such a long time, everyone wants something from you, as you can see. This is where I became a man. I arrived in Frankfurt as an 18-year-old and became a real footballer here. What a coincidence! JJ's first ever coach at Frankfurt, Dragoslav Stepanovic, appears from nowhere. JJ Okocha, he was the best! The best coach! He's lying! He's lying! He also has a gift. Definitely not for an Eintracht fan, but JJ's heart is pounding for this small Dortmund supporter. Now it gets serious. The stadium is packed to the rafters and everyone is waiting for JJ to appear. The highlight before the actual highlight. JJ and his fans. He played his way into the hearts of the Eagles. They will never stop adoring him. He is and always will be a hero. Now everyone can watch his unforgettable scenes from the 93-94 season on the screen. Karlsruhe were the visitors to Frankfurt, and they were well and truly shown up by one man. He ran rings around the opposition and almost drove keeper Oliver Kahn to madness. Oliver Kahn will also never forget this moment.
Hopefully we're still friends. I was just trying to do my job. It wasn't anything personal. I think the goal changed a lot of things. The goal exposed me, you know, because it was shown in so many different countries, and that was when people really took note of me. But the truth is that I never planned to hold on to the ball that long, you know, but whenever I raise my head, I always see a defender or the goalkeeper back on his feet, you know, trying to stop me from shooting. So I head on to it until I find a space. Honestly speaking, it wasn't planned.
The Bundesliga is unpredictable. The visitors experience that in the flesh. Pure drama.
It's a great start by Frankfurt. Oh, it's an amazing start. Samuels Husti. He's got the cross in, and Aubameyang makes it 1-1. Husti. Seferovic. Oh, he's done it.
JJ's Eintracht manage a shock 2-1 win, and Sunday too is thrilled.
The German league, what StarTimes is trying to make people aware of it. The question is, people should ask themselves, why do we have to watch the German league? What is in it? Why should you watch it? So for Africa, we have to watch this league because you have loads of goals, you have loads of tactical play, you have loads of defensive play, and there is youth in it.
The game is over. While JJ Okocha and Sunday Oliseh are already on their way home, the clock is ticking for the journalists. Our reporters are eagerly awaiting the game's main protagonists with questions on the victory and defeat.
What was the turning point as a player in this particular game?
Particularly was we fight for each other. This was very important, you know. Every player fight for every player, and it's important. We run together, we defend together, we attack together. I think this was important today, and so we are just happy about the win, and yeah.
What was up with Dortmund in the second half?
He wasn't awake from the first minute.